What's going on, everybody? It's FREEDO here for your Overwatch, and it's patch day, but you might as well call it Shimada day because Genji is getting a buff. Yes, you don't only just look better when you're wearing the black watch skin, you're gonna play a bit better now too, because some of the bugs surrounding Genji, and particularly his blade, have been fixed. I have explained this in a previous news roundup video. Weird latency problem that caused for some players to get an extra swing. Now they have normalized that completely so that everybody gets 7 swings. On top of that, there were some odd interactions between his blade hitting certain characters in certain situations that led to the big, powerful, arcing swing of the Dragon Blade to net no damage and not connect properly. Well, that bug should be fixed as well. I did try to test the limits of the Genji blade in the training mode to try to see if I could find a swing that looked like it should have connected but didn't, kind of playing with the max range of where the swing should be. It feels okay, but really, these problems happen in a live environment and only once in a while, so we'll only really know when we play the game long enough with Genji to discover whether or not this has been completely fixed or not. A lot of times Mercy was notorious for this, where it seemed like her hitbox was dodgy with the blade. So hopefully, for all you Genjis out there, this issue has been fixed. And it is a net buff, of course, because even if something's a bug, every aspect of a character is a feature. If it happens often enough, then it's just inherent in the character, right? So if some characters are only getting 6 swings and some get 7, well, now everybody gets 7. It's just inherently better, making Genji slightly better. Not every buff or nerf has to be some significant thing, but this is significant enough to be called a buff. Onto the Assault and Hybrid changes. Now, teams will need at least 33% of the objective before the tie-breaking system is activated, meaning that there's no longer any instant wins for merely touching the point. I'm sure a lot of players are happy about this. I will say though, I did have one particular game where I was able to full hold in an instant touch they win scenario for a tie, and it was a very epic game. And likewise, I've also had the same scenario play out where we almost won. So I'm not really looking forward to more ties being a thing. I know the massive advantage that you would have if you only needed 1 percentage point to win the game feels unfair, but you have to remember, if we had pure stopwatch to begin with, the team that had more time would have just won in that scenario if that was the rule set. So I didn't really mind the fact that the team that goes into extra rounds with an advantage had a big advantage to win the game. As well, there was a bunch of small bug fixes that you can read for yourself if they interest you, mostly doing with the arcade, as well as it looks like they're fixing the black glass glitch, which was pretty visually annoying, albeit not game-breaking, and something that affects us personally, as well as probably many of you out there. They fixed a crash that would occur during the end of round screen. This is something that Liam has been plagued with for quite a long time, even in many cases losing him SR and giving him a lever penalty. Even in games we won. I mean, that SR adds up when it happens like 20 to 40 times in a season. So that's huge. There's also other crashing issues that I know exist that I hope they can quickly resolve, because if it happens to you, I'm sure it's one of the most frustrating things for playing competitive Overwatch, because the lever penalties are so harsh and severe, meaning that if you have crash issues as well, the system inherently punishes you for the game just not working properly, and that sucks. But it's good that they are working towards fixing these things, and hopefully, before long, all of them can be fixed. Now that's it for patch news for today, but there also was an interesting forum post by Jeff Kaplan. It was a response to a post by a user saying that Orisa wasn't properly blocking Earthshatter. Now this is a bit of a tricky one, and maybe even a bit of a debate that we can have about how Orisa should play in the game. As Jeff says it, Orisa's Fortify should block Earthshatter. If it's not happening, please send us proof so that we can fix it. But, as the astute forum poster Jag responds, you may want to clarify that it blocks it for Orisa. It does not body block it for her entire team. I believe that's what the user who posted this expected. And that's a very interesting interaction with Orisa, and one thing that makes Fortify not really as good as it maybe could be. Orisa's barrier, as all barriers do, will block Earthshatter from continuing down a line, because the way Earthshatter works is it cracks the ground and ripples through in a arcing motion, and any barrier along that path will stop that branching out effect. So whether that's a Winston bubble, Orisa's barrier, or even a Zarya shield, if placed correctly, can block the entire thing. So Zarya stands directly in front of Reinhardt. It's possible to block the entire Earthshatter effect with just Zarya right there. Whereas Orisa can stand right in front of Reinhardt as well, not get knocked down, but her entire team behind her is limping in pain as she stands there still fortifying herself. Isn't really as powerful as some of those other abilities. So maybe this is something Orisa should do. And although it would change the mechanics slightly, and maybe Fortify would need some sort of mini barrier on the ground so that the logic of the game can stay continuous, whatever it has to be, with Orisa not being so great right now, maybe that's one area where she could be changed in order to be a bit more viable. Because being able to block one of the best ults in the game is kind of a huge ability, and if Zarya can do it and she's not even a main tank, a little bit of a knock against Orisa's Fortify. But, of course, Orisa's normal barrier does block Earth Shatter. So maybe it could be said she already has that inherent in her kit, but Zarya's projected barrier blocks it as well if it's on a teammate, so I don't think there's necessarily a problem with the skill set being a bit redundant in that way. What do you guys think, though? Let us know in the comment section down below. Genji mains, are you excited? Now that big bad blade is actually gonna hit something. And let's all cry collective tear for the support players out there who now will fall victim to Genji blade even more often. I'm sorry. Be sure to bring your drop the beats handy. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. It really does help us out and lets us know that you enjoyed the content. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, because we upload each and every day. So you're going to want to hit the bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Join the notification squad. Especially on a day like today, we upload multiple videos when there's news typically. And staying notified is a way that you can be sure not to miss a Your Overwatch video. Link to the description, you can check out our Twitch page, our Discord server, and our Twitter, where we tweet out news, updates, cool clips, and interact with you guys about the game of Overwatch. That's been it for me. I've been FREEDO for Your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.